Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode of The Division 2. Now this particular episode, I wanted to make it 2 parts, but combine as one since they work back to back. The one part, I want to address the concern of the recent Convoy experience fiasco, and the other, be excited about the fact that Golden Bullet global event is here, and it's for 2 whole weeks. Golden Bullet is ought to be my favorite event ever. It allows you to tackle any activity insanely fast. Despite other benefits, the main focus is the fact that you can level up way fast while you are in Super Saiyan mode. When you first log on, you have to activate the global event by going into the menu and by pressing the associated keybind. Mine is F to start your Golden Bullet journey. And if you're new or returning from hiatus, like other global events, it offers 4 days of distinctive activities you can do to earn stars. And the more you earn, the more event caches you may purchase from the event vendor at your local base of operations. Both DC and New York has their own. Don't worry about not being able to complete any particular day. The activities will be unlocked as the day rolls over for the initial 4 days, and then they'll stay up for the entire duration of the event. You may go back to any particular section of the day and complete any of them in whatever order you choose. I personally would start doing them on the 4th day because, a little tidbit for you, many of the activities may overlap. So if you start the activity on day 1, you have the rest of the activities locked. But if you start on day 4, you have every activity unlocked, and doing some may complete the others unknowingly. It's just easier. You may also toggle an activity tracker on your main UI. However, you need to deactivate it first in the menu, then reactivate it so it works. Kind of been buggy like that for so long. Since it's Golden Bullet, I figure almost any build is gonna slaughter, but in a spirit of not stretching the video too long to showcase them all, I'm just gonna go with my recent hazard protection backfire build, the stack attack loadout to begin. I really hope you had a chance to try out that build because I believe that with builds that require heavy stacking, the Golden Bullet event basically transcends that build. Because you need to stack up so many different buffs, and in order to stack up really fast, you need high firing rate. And with Golden Bullet, it's literally delivered on a silver platter, with unlimited ammo alongside an insane firing rate of upwards, say 1,800 to 2,000 RPM. There is no denying that most stackable builds is going to have a hell of a time here. Especially on a build like, say, my stack attack, in which you need to stack 200 times on the weapon, 100 times on the striker, and 25 times for obliterate. If you're playing that build or something similar, you know what I mean. Other notable mentions are weapons that have talents that remain active as you continuously fire, such as Strained, or infamously, the Chameleon, which is another weapon that requires a whole lot of stacking up. In my opinion, the Golden Bullet event really brings out some of the underperforming weapons and make them top picks for the time being. Okay, back to the main topic of the day, which is the Convoy experience. You have probably seen video telling you to farm it like this, and this, and this. Okay, you get the gist. So back in Title Update 17.2, there was a stealth nerf applied to the convoys which wasn't mentioned anywhere on the patch notes, and I have detailed and shown proof of near the end of my Title Update 17.2 summary video. Now, in Title Update 17.3, they have mentioned it on the patch notes and on Trello that they have reverted that nerf. I don't know if the reversal was because of the accident to nerf or that people have found out about it. Not the first time. The Convoy experience was always a bit of a weird one. For years, they have been giving out double the experience as expected. When you finish a convoy, on the reward screen, it says you have gained, for example, 300,000 experience, but on the top right corner with your experience bar, you actually get double that. So it is not exactly aligned, and it's been like that for years. And so in Title Update 17.2, the so-called nerf was actually a fix, an alignment to correct what was not intended. Anyways, going forward, according to the recent PTS, and that there are rumors and news going around that with the upcoming experience overhaul entitled Update 18 to most activities in the game, sort of like a revamp, the developers are going to halve the experience gains of convoys, specifically. So what does that tell you? Well, get on farming. Remember when I said in the beginning of the video that the two-part plays hand in hand? You pretty much have until the end of the season to farm convoys and be getting that sweet double experience. And with Golden Bullet, it's going to be super fast. As you can see in the gameplay so far, it's about average 10 to 20 seconds to finish up a convoy, elite convoys included. So really, get on the golden train and bullet hell your way through convoys and get yourself some sweet SHD levels before it is cut, and soon probably will become one of the worst activities to farm. And to show some proof of that, here's the chart of the comparative experience gain of various open world activities post 17.3 versus what was on PTS. You can take a look at that yourself. What we can see here is that the PTS convoy experience was nerfed to 109k, down from 146k on live. This is without any directives. And elite convoys are 132k on the PTS, down from 184k on live. So a significant reduction. And from the footages, I get about 300,000-ish with 4 directives on, which also translates to 680,000 experience gained because they reverted the stealth nerf from before. If this holds true, the double experience from convoys will be removed again, and is what I appreciate about it. With the arrival of Title Update 18 and the overall experience overhaul, most of the activities will get some sort of experience adjustments, making more activities worth the time and more attractive. Additionally, given to what the news was, control points are getting an experience buff. So if you see convoys getting that reduction is bad, then I believe control point farming is going to be the rage. I mean, so far we've been farming control points already, so I can imagine more people getting on that. And I definitely appreciate the fact that running missions could potentially be more rewarding as well. If Lincoln so far takes say 5 minutes to speed run, it could definitely rise in fame when experience gets increased in the next update. Honestly, I feel like SHD levels should be kept at 10,000, really no reason to go beyond that, except for health boost in PvP, but since PvP is never in a good enough place, I have no idea how useful it really is. No SHD cap is what really was driving all those experience exploit glitches and such. And if developers are going to move forward with current PTS experience values, level requirements really needs to be looked at. Instead of asking for 700,000 experience for one level, I feel like it should be a little bit lower, something like 450 or 500,000 experience for one level. Otherwise, people are just gonna run the same activities and resetting the map, just like they currently do with convoys. It's hard to understand the logic behind it. Damage is already done with all those experience exploits. All they're gonna do with experience nerf is to hinder newer players which are struggling to reach 1000 SHD. Experience nerf does little to nothing for veteran players, but instead it's gonna severely hinder newer players trying to reach that 1k SSD. Leveling is still way too slow, and completing a raid reward, 400,000 experience? That's downright idiotic. You can get that amount of experience by doing 2 PE events. The major problem here isn't really the amount of experience rewarded, it's the amount of experience required to level up. The amount of experience you get for Legendary is pretty pathetic, considering it is literally the end game content and takes way longer than Convoy. It looked like a big overhaul nerf to experience gain, and I think 1 or 2 things got an experience increase and everything else got an experience nerf. Don't see what's the point of that was. And to summarize here, with the upcoming experience revamp that will nerf convoys and buff other areas, Massive have been working to end the clearly not intended experience farm like the level 10 summit, and the fact that convoys give you an SHD level every few minutes. Some are concerned that this gives an unfair advantage to those who were able to take advantage of those methods before. while others feel that SHD levels beyond 1000 don't offer much, so that should be relevant. Some may feel that taking too long to gain one SHD level isn't a fun experience, and as I'm sure you can guess, others disagree, saying leveling shouldn't be too fast. Massive are also buffing the other areas. They seem to want to encourage people to diversify, to not feel like they have to play one mode that is the most efficient mode to level up. But what are your thoughts on how the game should handle experience? I guess related to that, loot has a similar issue. Maybe you don't see it as an issue, but if you want the best loot, there are a few modes that you should play to get the most gear. Countdown, Summit, Anderson Manhunt, etc. Would you change anything about how you get loot? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I hope this isn't too long a video. If this content is helpful to you, perhaps give it a thumbs up. I would like to thank all of you for the continued support and for tuning in. That's it for today's episode, and I'll see you in the next one.